Okay. Good morning to those joining from our time zone, and a warm greeting to everyone from various parts of the world. Firstly, I want to convey my sincere gratitude to our examiner committee for accommodating this session despite all the challenges, especially in various time zones. I'm honored by the presence of Dr. Ahmed Raqib, our external examiner from Penn State Earl the Brand College, and Dr. Jarima Bajwa, the internal examiner from Lakehead University. Your participation today underscores the significance of this defense. I'm Mohammed Shafi, pursuing my master's in computer science with a focus on artificial intelligence at Lakehead University. Today, I'm thrilled to discuss the compelling topic of neural synergy in compact biomedical IoT devices. Practically, the transformative potential of spintronic pathways in advancing MEG-EEG integration and portability. None of this would happen without the invaluable guidance and profound expertise of Dr. Zubair Fadlullah from the Department of Computer Science, Western University. His persistent support and academic prowess have shaped this research in countless ways. Thank you, everyone, for your virtual presence. I'm eager to explore this study in detail. But before diving deeper, it's essential to highlight the tangible outcomes achieved in the scientific community. Let us take a look at the papers that have arisen from this research. First and foremost, I had the opportunity to present our work at the 11th International Conference on Information and Communication Technology, held in 24th of August 2023. We also have a paper which has received its first round of reviews from the esteemed IEEE Access Journal. Another pivotal work is currently under revision with IEEE Access. Lastly, our paper titled Simulating and Denoising Magnetic Tunnel Junction Sensor Signals for MEG to EEG mapping has been submitted to IEEE Access as well. These publications lay the foundation and validate the importance of our work. Now, to give you a clear overview of our exploration today, let me map up our research journey. We will begin with understanding the why, the what, and spreading the foundational concepts pivotal to our research. Then we will delve into the MEG-EEG mapping using traditional machine and deep learning methodologies. We will explore the temporal dependencies present in the MEG signals, and our research doesn't avoid confronting real-world challenges. We will discuss noise simulation and our AI-based denoising strategies. It's not just about discovery, but application. We will discuss how we optimized our models for effective hardware integration. And as we warm up, I will share some insights and give a glimpse into the promising future directions of this research. With this map in hand, let me embark in our in-depth exploration. As we set the stage now for our exploration of MEG-EEG mapping, we begin with central subject of our study, the brain. Why this profound interest in the brain? Consider a crowded city with countless connections and intersections. This reflects our brain's complexity, which outshines the most advanced neural networks with 86 billion neurons and thousands of links. It's the powerhouse behind every emotion, thought, and action. The brain is more than neurons. It's where our consciousness resides. It holds our memories, emotions, and molds our identity, the essence of our being. Our brain's ability to adapt, recover from setbacks, and adjust to new experiences due to its incredible neuroplasticity is remarkable. Moreover, the bioelectrical marvel, just an orchestra creates a harmonious melody with distinct instruments. Our brain is a symphony of bioelectrical signals. These signals captured via EEG from the foundation of our experiences. Given these insights, our exploration into the brain becomes not just a scientific study, but a deep dive into our very essence. In our investigation to grasp the brain's magnetic intricacies, we often look to nature for inspiration, and pigeons serve as remarkable examples. Pigeons use magnetoreception, sensing Earth's magnetic fields to navigate vast distances. This skill derived from magnetite fragment in their beaks, and specialized eye cells acts as a biological GPS, guiding them even without typical landmarks. Historically, Humans have utilized pigeons for reliable navigation, making them symbols of connection from the ancient times to the present. Drawing a parallel to neural technology, we aim to decode the brain's magnetic rhythms, just as pigeons naturally interpret Earth's magnetic signals using MEG, EEG, and devices like MTJs. While pigeons provide a poetic metaphor, our focus delves into addressing the practical challenges in our domain. And the existing MEG devices, while transformative, pose pain points, prompting our drive to innovate. Here is a brief insight into these issues. First, the cost barrier. You know that MEG machines come with a hefty price of around 2.5 million euros upfront and ongoing 70,000 euros yearly for upkeep. This pricing isolates small institutions and financially restricted regions, restricting pivotal neuroscientific advancements. Our mission: make this invaluable tool widely accessible. And the operational complexity. MEG machines require shielded environments, intricate superconducting systems, and specialized training for operation. Confining their use to specific labs, we are driven to simplify this, making brain research more universal feasible. The mobility issues is one of the important here. So in our mobile-centric world, the MEG's bulky size, often considered of hundreds of kilograms, is a setback. Envision a world here, MEGs are everywhere as IoT devices. This is the direction we are heading. Not just by the ambition to refine MEG technology, but by a vision of a future where brain insights are woven into our daily existence. The gap between current capabilities and desired outcomes is where our innovation shines. The core query here is, how can we transition from these bounded techniques to an approach enabling easy, continuous EEG tracking with precise and non-invasive means? Our proposition fuses biology, technology, and data science. Central to this is the MTJ sensor, famed for its ability to detect subtle biomagnetic fields. This raw data, though valuable, requires refinement. Enter AI, it first denoises the acquired signals and then converts these pure MEG signals to EEG counterparts, but our vision continues beyond that. Another layer of AI-driven approach keeps an eye out for abnormalities, alerting stakeholders via a cloud system upon detection. Essentially, we are not merely proposing a tool, but pioneering a shift. We aim to redefine brain monitoring, backing a more portable, efficient, and user-centric approach. As we navigate the profound realms of brain activity monitoring and neurotechnology, it's essential to anchor ourselves in the foundational concepts that pave our path. Our first point of exploration will be the action potential, the quintessential spark that forms the basis of neural communication. The action potential is a rapid, momentary reversal of electrical charge across the membrane of a neuron. This is the language of the brain, the medium through which our neurons converge. Now, as you focus on this visual representation, you will see the neuron in its entirety, the axon in the long projection you see. Observe the changing charge along its length, representing by cascaded arrow. This is not just one isolated event. Instead, it represents a series of cascaded action potentials that propagate from the neuron's dendritic region, its head, down to its axon terminal, the tail. Having seen the cascaded action potential in the neuron, let us zoom in further to appreciate the precise molecular events unfolding within. The shifting color you observe here within this representation highlight the critical role of sodium and potassium ions. The sodium gates launch open, letting Na ions rush out. This movement is responsible for the increasing positively inside the cell, which you can visualize at the arrow's progression in the previous slide. Then the potassium gates take central stage, allowing K ions to flow in, attempting to restore the cell's internal balance. This flow of ions is fundamental to the essence of neural communication. This curve you see maps the journey of the action potential. As sodium ions rush out during depolarization, we witness a sharp rise indicating the neuron's active communication. This peak moment is fleeting, quickly followed by a descent as potassium ions come in during repolarization. We then hit the refractory period, a short race before the neuron can fire again. Remember, countless repetitions of this curve drive every thought, sensation, or action we experience. It's more than just a biological event. It's the heartbeat and the heart of our neural system. This electrical flow driven by the action potential inherently creates perpendicular magnetic field. This representation vividly illustrates this relationship. As the electric field streams with the action potential, it's combined by its magnetic counterpart. This magnetic field becomes our focal point at the heart of our study. Having delved into the action potential, let us move forward to our next foundational pillar, spintronic sensors, the future of biomagnetism detection. Spintronics, as the name suggests, is a confluence of spin and electronics. Unlike traditional electronics, which focus only on the charge of electronics, spintronics goes deeper, leveraging the intrinsic spin property of electrons for information processing. At the core of spintronic sensors lies the spin valve structure, a fundamental aspect. This structure comprises alternating layers of magnetic, either ferromagnetic or antiferromagnetic, and non-magnetic materials. Within this domain, two critical phenomena stand out: the giant magnetoresistance and the tunnel magnetoresistance effect. The GMR effect revolves around magnetic layer alignment. Aligned layers reduce resistance, while opposite aligned orientation increase it, offering insights into magnetic surroundings. On the other hand, the TMR effect is about electron tunneling between magnetic layers. Parallel alignment again facilitates efficient tunneling, reducing resistance, whereas anti-parallel configuration raises it, shedding light on the magnetic field's impact. From spintronic sensors, we now shift to our final pillar, AI-based models. Here, we see the fusion of data and algorithms to unlock more profound insights into brain activity. Let's start with linear regression. At its core, it aims to find the best fit straight line that predicts an outcome based on certain variables. The formula here represents the equation of the straight line. Think of it as mapping relationship. Y is our predicted outcome, and each x represented different factors that influence this outcome. The beta values signify the weight or the importance of these factors. Linear regression stands out because of its simplicity and clarity. It offers direct insights into how each factor impacts our outcome, making it computationally efficient. However, it's essential to note that it works best when relationships are linear. It can be sensitive to extreme data points or outliers, which can skew our predictions. Let us demystify another cornerstone in AI, which is the k-nearest neighbors. Imagine you are in a room full of people with various professional experiences. You are trying to predict the salary of someone based on their profile. Instead of analyzing the entire crowd, you would likely ask those closest to them, their nearest neighbors. This is KNN in a nutshell. If you want to predict a value, it first measures how close or similar other data points are to our point of interest. Then it selects the k closest data points. Finally, it takes an average of these neighbors' values to make its prediction. KNN stands out due to its straightforwardness. It doesn't make broad assumptions about the entire data. Instead, it focuses on localized learning, understanding small sections of data deeply. However, it's worth noting that KNN can be memory intensive as it keeps all data points at hand. Plus, its computations can be time consuming, especially with large data sets, and just like real life crowds, noisy or misleading data points can sometimes bias its judgment. Navigating further into our AI journey, we arrive to the decision tree regressor. Envision making a series of choices where each decision you make branches off to further choices, ultimately leading to a conclusion. This tree-like models of decisions is the essence of decision tree regressor. It starts at the root, choosing a feature to split the data. Then it makes the best decision at each point, deciding on the next feature to split the data further. This continues until a leaf or endpoint is reached, which gives us a predicted numerical values. Its strength lies in the transparency. You can easily visualize and understand the decisions being made. Moreover, its ability to grasp both linear and nonlinear relationships and can work with varied data types. But just as a tree sways in wind, decision trees can sometimes waver. They can go too complex, fitting into the training data so closely that they lose their general applicability, a phenomenon known as overfitting. Additionally, slight tweaks in the data might lead to drastically different tree structure, showing some instability in its decision-making. Diving into the realm of deep neural networks, envision a digital counterpart of your brain. Just like our brain complex web of neurons, a DNN consists of multiple layers solving intricate patterns in data. The process is pretty straightforward. Neurons receive data, they weight this data based on its importance, combine everything, adding an offset, then determine what to send to the next layer via an activation function. The magic of DNNs lies in their ability to discern and learn from complex data patterns automatically, scaling to handle vast amount of data. But they are not without challenges. DNNs are data hungry. They require vast data sets for training, demands significant computational power, and their inner working can often be a mystery akin to a black box. Transitioning to convolutional neural networks, they are specialized tools tailored for processing structured data. Here's a simple breakdown. CNNs slide a filter across input data, such as an image or grade structured dataset. At each position, the filter multiplies its values by the original data values beneath it and sums them up. The operation is captured in the equation you see. This produced a feature map highlighting the most critical patterns from the input data. The strength of CNNs lies in recognizing patterns, extracting vital features without manual intervention, and scaling well with increased data. But like all the powerful tools, they require considerable computational resources and can sometimes act overly enthusiastic, fitting more to data than desired. Much like DNNs, the two can be a puzzle functioning like a black box. Moving forward to sequential data, we encounter the gated recurrent unit. Imagine GRU as a librarian who remembers not just the last book you read, but traces back through the entire series. GRU employs special gates that decode what information to let through, like how a gatekeeper chooses who to let inside within its update and reset gates. GRU determines the balance between holding onto previous information and embracing the new. This flexibility ensures that GRUs can keep up with changing sequences, deciding when to update or stick to the past. GRU is genius in capturing time dependencies, a more streamlined architecture compared to some other recurrent neural networks. However, somewhat limited memory, and they possess an instability appetite for labeled training data. Now, the turn of LSTM and its variant by LSTM. Picture LSTMs as time traveler with an impeccable memory. They remember events from the distant past while still keeping an eye on the present. At its core, LSTM use memory cells that retain and recall data over prolonged sequences. Various gates modulates these cells. The input gate firstly decided what new information should be stored. The forget gate determines what older memory should be forgotten. The output gate decides what information will be used in the current step. Now imagine BiLSTM as an enhancement to this. While LSTMs can remember the past, BiLSTMs consider both past and the future, providing a broader context. The strength lies in the proficiency in capturing lengthy time dependencies and benefits from both historical and upcoming contexts. But its heavy lifter, demanding high computational resources, has a substantial appetite for memory as well. This our final model, recurrent convolutional neural network. Think of this as a beautiful blend, taking the strength of recurrent neural network and integrating them into convolutional layers. This powerful union significantly boosts object recognition capabilities. Central to the RCNN is the recurrent convolutional layer. Its brilliant fusion of feed-forward and recurrent connections, both bearing the hallmarks of local connectivity and share weights. The RCNN is designed to scale with our growing datasets and offers multiple perspectives through multipath learning, yet its strength also brings challenges. It's resource intensive and requires specific customization to fully unlock its potential. But in essence, the RCNN represents a transformative jump in neural network. All right, everyone. Now, let us shift gears. We are moving to the lively pure mapping segment, diving into how MEG-EEG dataset interacts with the machine and deep learning. I will begin with our crucial dataset. To provide some context here, our dataset includes a rich mix, 204 gradumeter and 102 magnetometers, 60 EEG channels and 1 EOG channel, 9 stimulus challenges. While the majority of our channels function seamlessly, we did encounter two bad channels, namely MEG 2443 and EEG 053. Our data was sampled at frequency of 600 Hertz and filtered by a high-pass filter of 0.1 Hertz and low-pass filter of around 170 Hertz. With this understanding, let's go into how we ensure this dataset quality through pre-processing. As we delved into this dataset, our first step was identifying and excluding the ECG and EOG channels that weren't apt for our analysis. We then harnessed the power of independent component analysis. This powerful tool enables us to separate mixed signals, helping us pinpoint specific brain activity patterns. Post-ICA, our priority shifted to refining our data, removing any ECG and muscle artifacts. With our data sets being a mix of MEG and EEG signals, we split them for easy handling. We then applied bandpass filter, tailoring the range to capture crucial frequencies while sidelining the noise. The MEG data was filtered between 1 and 100 Hertz, while the EEG was between 0.5 and 55 Hertz, guided by the established research. Having cleaned our data, we partitioned by reserving around 125,000 samples for training and embarked 42,000 samples for testing. As we transition to this segment, glance at your design for DNNs and CNN layers used in the MEG-EEG mapping. These designs are pivotal for our mapping accuracy. And speaking of accuracy, observe this loss versus validation curve. It observes a snapshot of our model's performance and convergence. Bringing our focus to the final slide in this section, here is a snapshot of EEG data generated by our models. On the x-axis, you see the time, and y-axis, you will see the normalized signal for channel 31. It gives a visual testament to our model's capability, where the black curve you see here at the bottom is for the actual EEG, and the rest are the predicted EEG. But the proof is always in the numbers. Direct your attention to the MEE and RMSE chart. This underscores the standout performance of both linear regression and KNN in this pure mapping phase. The lower these values, the closer our models are to perfection. We now pivot to a dimension that's always vital, time. In this session, you will explore the temporal dependencies present in the MEEG signals. So let's embark on this part. As we shift our lens from classical deep learning to RNN-based methods, let's visualize our transition. On one hand, we have our candidate models like linear regression, KNN, decision tree, DNN, and CNN, all attuned to detecting spatial patterns in MEG-EEG mapping. These models gives us a snapshot, a momentary capture of the data's complications. Now, as we transition further, we used at this stage models like GRU and LSTM. By LSTM, these are concerned with the when question. They unravel the temporal pattern, recognizing the data's ebbs and flows over time. Lastly, we aim to for a holistic perspective. We want to understand space and time in tandem by mapping both spatial and temporal patterns embedded in our MEG inputs. We aim for a comprehensive understanding of our data using RCNN. This progression represents our journey from understanding individual moments to recognizing entire sequences, enabling a more in-depth exploration of MEG and EEG. As we conclude the section, let's spotlight a few pivotal findings for from our extensive analysis. When we talk about accuracy, our RCNN model clearly shines the brightest, both in terms of RMSE and MEE. The RCNN consistently outperformed the other models, highlighting its prowess in capturing and recreating intricate data patterns. However, there's another dimension to this regarding the prediction speed. The RGU takes the crown, making it a potential choice for applications demanding rapid feedback. But words can sometimes fall short. So let's turn our attention to a visual representation here. You see the EEG generated signals from the RCNN exclusively. This is the first 20 channels. This precision and clarity it has reproduced these signals underscores in unmatched capabilities. Transitioning now to the reality check segment, while our models show great promise, testing their mettle is crucial against real-world challenges. Next, we introduce the noise simulations and explore the potential of AI-driven denoising solution. Let's dive in. Stepping into our reality check, let's first focus on these visuals here. The frequency band of our data prominently displays the alphas and gamma portion in the low frequency range. This range is instrumental in diagnostic, often revealing anomalies in brain activity. Drawing your attention to these three central points regarding the characteristics of MTG noise. First, the noise is incredibly dominant in the low frequency range. It characteristically exhibits a 1/f behavior, and this noise power spectral density is intrinsically tied to sensor sensitivity as quantified in this equation. Our chief challenge is this: significant brain activities overlap with this noise in the same frequency band, making proper signal extraction quite intricate, especially with traditional signal processing methods. Therefore, we will disclose how AI-based models adeptly tackle this noise, ensuring precision and signal extraction. As we dive into noise simulation, our primary selection for noise types gravitated towards pink noise because its 1/f characteristics mirrors real-world MTG noise patterns seen with MTG sensors. Additionally, a white noise component is integrated, configuring our noise parameters. We adapted a 600 Hz sampling frequency, ensuring the precision of brain activity capture. We set our baseline for white noise power spectral density and designed pink noise with a power distribution led by an exponent beta of 1.5, delivering the expected 1/f beta behavior. The integrate these frequency components, a cut-off frequency of 10 Hz was introduced, differentiating the pink noise dominant range from the flat regions, thus allowing the pink noise and white noise to rule their respective frequency areas. Utilizing Fourier transform techniques, we merged this simulated noise with our clean MEG signals, ensuring an authentic representation of what MTG sensors record. The final touch was integrating the noisy dataset, the noise augmented and original MEG signals to craft a dataset mimicking real-time and real-world challenges posed by MTG sensor noise. And here, some model insights representing the generated EEG signals from the noisy EEG signals versus the clean EEG. Direct your attention to the graph before you. The linear regression model emerged as the star performer, consistently outpacing competitors. Here, if you look closely at this snapshot, you will see the models ranked by their efficiency, with the most accurate at the bottom and the least accurate at the top. Notice the blue curve here? That's our reference, the real EEG signals from channel number 40. Now, while linear regression shines bright, let's pay attention to the BiLSTM. It runs a close second, as evidenced by the closely matching RMSE and MEE and time matrices. As we gear up for the final stretch, let's take a look into this phase, optimizing our models for seamless hardware integration. While linear regression notably leads in performance, we choose to proceed with BiLSTM. And here's the catch. The frequency recalibration requirements of linear regression present in real-world challenges. BiLSTM, on the other hand, boasts stable weights, no immediate need for recalibration, and the superior adaptability, making it more universal in real-world scenarios. Moreover, with quantization, BiLSTM is primed for efficient hardware deployment. Delving into the realm where neuroscience intertwines with AI, we arrive to neuromorphic computing. This is not just an infusion, it's an emulation of the very essence of our biological brain's architecture. Unlike traditional systems that depends on sequential processing, neuromorphic computing is characterized by parallelism, adaptability, and event-driven approach. But why is this shift significant? It's because this paradigm allows us to handle dynamic real-world data in real time seamlessly, promising efficient akin to our neural pathways. Moreover, with adoption of hardware like FPGAs and neuromorphic chips, we are unlocking the doors to applications that were once deemed futuristic. Building upon that, it's evident that the efficiency of computation is paramount, and this is where quantization steps in. Here are some benefits to consider. Quantization provides a boon for devices with memory restrictions, even allowing multiple models to run in parallel. Embracing low bit width operations ensures that our models are slim, responding in real time, and using fewer bits directly reduce power consumption, which is required for our mobile devices. However, there are associated challenges. The risk of precision loss remains as we trim bits. It may alter the training dynamics, impacting the model's conversion path. A critical task is to ensure that our downsample model remains compatible with the device's specifications. In sum, while offering potent advantages, quantization requires careful calibration to realize its full promise. Quantizing BiLSTM networks requires precision, so we first utilize a reshaped dataset tailored for BiLSTM, including noisy MEG and clean EEG, split as 75% for training, 25% for testing. We deploy the TensorFlow model optimization toolkit, streamlining the training of quantization-aware models. Our quantization configuration is defined considering inputs, weights, and outputs. The custom map set function extracts BiLSTM's weights, applies quantization, and restore them with early stopping based on validation loss. We optimize training. Post-training, we evaluate using the test dataset and decode quantized outputs. This approach ensures an optimized, efficient, and precise BiLSTM network. Inspecting the graph, we present the performance matrices of 8 different models configuration, notably focusing on RMSE and MEE. The model with the best accuracy generates an RMSE of around 0.206. In contrast, the higher error models is at RMSE 0.26, while this is a very important note, while the RMSE of quantized models differs from the original BiLSTM's which has 0.048, quantization inherently causes such variations. Not all quantized models reflect the original BiLSTM's intricacies, but they offer unparalleled computational efficient and more memory computations. And here are some model performance with different configurations showing that quantized signal is still following the actual signal trend. As we approach the final station of our journey today, let's glimpse the transformative potential arising from our research. As we look ahead, our journey's horizon is marked by promising milestones. First, transition to HDL solutions. This is the bridge from theoretical models to the real-world hardware. Second, the early abnormality detection, leveraging AI to pinpoint brain anomalies precisely, and cloud integration, immediate risk alerts on the cloud, enabling swift life-saving responses, real-time monitoring, capturing neural activities as they unfold, offering unparalleled insights, and importantly, federated learning. This decentralized approach with healthcare collaborations, evolving models without sharing raw data, ensuring both patient privacy and richer insights. This represents our next step toward a future where technology and healthcare converge seamlessly. In conclusion, our journey today unfolded alongside my thesis structure. We began with chapter 1, setting the scene, highlighting motivation and our unique contribution. Chapter 2 delved into preliminaries, providing the foundational building blocks. In chapter 3, we crafted a proof of concept for MEG to EEG signal mapping, an ambition that deepened in chapter 4 as we accounted for time dependencies. Chapter 5 saw us simulating MTJ sensor noise and integrating it with clean signals. Chapter 3 through 5, we showcase our software-centric solutions. Transitioning to a hardware lens, chapter 6 emphasized quantizing the BioSTM model for efficient neuromorphic deployment. Finally, in chapter 7, we gathered our insights and conclusions and cast a beacon into future possibilities, thus encapsulating our journey from inception to prospects. As we draw to a close, I'm reminded of a quote: "If I have seen further, it's by standing on the shoulder of giants." My journey in this thesis would only have peaked with the guidance of my supervisor, Dr. Zubair Fadlullah, and the tireless dedication of my co-supervisor, Dr. Mustafa Foda from Idaho State University. Their wisdom and mentorship have truly been my guiding stars. My heartfelt gratitude goes to my family who are watching me now. Your unwavering support has been my backbone. To my wife, whose patience and encouragement fueled my determination, thank you. And to my friends who offered strength during this journey, here is to the giants in my life who uplifted me to see further and reach it higher. Thank you all for your time and attention. I look forward to any questions and decisions you may have.
Thank you very much, Mohammed, for your excellent presentation in this exciting realm of spring phonics.